Welcome to this special edition of the Arts Page. I'm Sandy Maxx. You're about to see how a historic art form is delighting and exciting little ones to learn. Opera is one of the oldest art forms, and right here in Milwaukee, the Florentine Opera Company is the 6th oldest in the United States. In addition to producing classic operas like Madame Butterfly, they also take risks by originating new works, including children's operas. And that's where a unique partnership was formed around a little honeybee named Bella. Sharp Literacy is a Milwaukee-based nonprofit with a mission to engage and educate urban school children through the visual arts and creating books. So it was a natural fit for these local organizations to partner together to bring the story of Bella to life on the stage. We take you inside the making of the Florentine Opera Company's latest children's opera, A Busy Bee. The Florentine Opera Company is an 84-year-old professional opera company in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's the 6th oldest opera company in the U.S.
We do the full range of operatic repertory from the Baroque era in the 1600s through today. And we also do a number of community engagement performances and children's opera performances.
Opera comes from the Italian word meaning works and refers most often to dramatic works that are sung.
And so then the dividing line between, say, opera and musical theater is generally not so much the subject matter or even whether it's dramatic or comic, but really more the singing style that's involved in it. Generally, opera is sung unmicrophoned. It's generally sung with a classical ensemble of instruments. For every Marriage of Figaro and Tosca or Madame Butterfly, there are 500 other pieces surrounding those that we don't do today. So it's my job, not necessarily to be able to successfully identify what the next masterpiece is, but be a part of a continuum that's producing work that gives posterity the opportunity to make those judgments.
For the 10th year, the Florentine Opera Company's Donald and Donna Baumgartner Studio Artist Program trains talented young opera singers.
We have 4 singers that are chosen from national audition, and they do everything from main stage performances to community engagement performances. During the course of the year, the Florentine, with the studio artists sort of being the flagship, we probably see almost close to 40,000 people in our community with free and reduced cost performances, education performances. With the studio artist program, we're a part of the community on a daily basis and in the community on a daily basis. And to me, that's made what we do much more relevant.
This is really some of the most important work we do at the Florentine Opera, is to bring our art form to a population that might not normally get to see it. And in so doing, we get to cultivate an interest in the arts from a very early age.
The Florentine Opera Company's children's operas are geared towards kids from kindergarten to 5th grade.
It's not talking down to the children either in musical language or in the spoken language, but doing it in such a way that it's, for lack of a better term, in short bursts, so you engage their attention. We're engaging them at a level of musical and dramatic sophistication that we also do with our adult operas. So it's really a matter of theme and duration, not quality. A 5-year-old in a school deserves your same commitment to quality that your 50-year-old patron at the Marcus Center deserves, and we've tried to do that.
And children's opera is a lot more accessible to young kids who have never experienced opera or, really strong, big singing.
We do the entire show unamplified. So, from any space, we could be in a room off an office, or we're in a big school gym singing for 300 kids. We're filling that space just with our voices.
Almost every storyline in opera is very relatable. They're all just about human interaction and relationships.
We came across this book, A Busy Bee, by Sharp Literacy.
Sharp Literacy's mission is to really energize urban school children to be confident and capable readers, writers, researchers through the integrated arts program that we provide to the schools.
Sharp Literacy's program provides hands-on learning at no charge to over 8,500 K-4 to 5th grade students in 39 schools across Milwaukee and Waukesha counties.
As part of our literacy program, we do educational tours, we do workshops, we produce books. We have 14 We Love to Learn books in our series. For example, our Busy Bee book is a science-based book, and it's used in our first grade program where the students are learning all about bees and pollination and community and how important actually bees are. All of our first grade students, which is about 2,000 students, received the book in a first semester workshop through one of our Sharp educators.
At Sharp Literacy, we call ourselves teaching guides because we want to really be facilitators in education and lead the students as explorers in education. I know that bees have stingers. Here at Mesmer St. Mary's today, we are working with our Busy Bee book, and the kids are learning about pollinators. And they got a chance to learn the different parts of a bee. Can you say thorax? Thorax. Thorax. That culminated in an art activity inspired by a Hungarian artist who makes mosaics. They got to make their own mosaic of a pollinator. I think one of the great things that Sharp Literacy does is we incorporate reading, we incorporate looking at art, we incorporate art making. So it was really great to see the kids get out of their desks and talking to each other and just feeling really excited about the lesson. Good job, Red.
The fiction portion of A Busy Bee tells the story of Bella the honeybee.
She is trying to find her place in the hive, and she tries and she tries and she tries. She tries all different avenues of what it is that she is good at, and she fails. But her determination and all of her support from the other bees give her the confidence and that she can do it, and she will find what her place in the world is. For the Busy Bee book, we hired Francisco Mora, and he's both the author and the illustrator. We have 14 We Love to Learn books, and I believe probably over 70% of them have either been written or illustrated by Francisco.
An illustrator basically enhances a page of text, which might need extra information. I was chosen to become an illustrator because my color, my palette and my drawings were basically very bright. The palette is rather simple, I could say there's probably no more than a dozen colors on it. For the kind of illustrations I do for the books, I only use watercolor over white paper. I do, a number of sketches to interpret the character. Bella is supposed to be a child, so her eyes had to be big. Her head had to be a little bigger. She had to be a little rounder, more than the other bees. And she had to be, snappy.
Especially with the Busy Bee book, you can't help but look at that book and the illustrations and just smile. About a year and a half ago, we received a call from the Florentine Opera about the potential, if we would be interested at all, with partnering with them on a children's production of the Busy Bee book.
Sharp Literacy had this great program with these books, and wouldn't it be a great idea to sort of bring one of these books to life?
Right away, we just thought, oh, this is a great opportunity to really showcase the partnership and collaboration with two really great nonprofits with similar missions, educating urban school children through the arts.
So then the next step was, well, how do we do this? Ruben Pirine had become our staff pianist, and we approached Ruben and said, was this something you'd like to do? And he was so enthusiastic about it, he said, well, I'll do the libretto as well as that. So it was a really very organic process.
I hadn't ever written a children's opera before, but I'd written a number of other pieces for voice, so I thought this would be a fun challenge to take.
Ruben Pirine started by writing the libretto, or the script, for the opera.
My goal was to write a half-hour opera because that's sort of what we use as a touch point for children's attention spans.
Then he created characters for the Florentine Opera Company's 4 studio artists, mezzo-soprano Ashley Puner,
We are honeybees.
tenor Edward Graves,
So Bella, what do you want to be?
baritone Nathaniel Hill,
We be healthy, safe and sound.
And soprano Rachel Blaustein, who plays the title role of Bella.
Flying free, I am so happy to be flying free.
She sort of goes on this journey of trying to find what it is that she's good at.
Today's the day, I wonder what the Queen will say. Hello, good day, and welcome to the hive. What a magnificent and glorious day to be alive.
Queen Camille is obviously the queen of the hive, so she kind of comes in and out of the story and gives Bella some guidance on finding her place in the hive and how to do her job well.
Soon you will leave on a journey to find delicious pollen for the hive to eat.
Ashley Puner also plays the character of Sophia, who is Bella's best friend.
Gosh, I still don't know what I'm good at. Well, let's see if we can help you decide.
I mostly just interact with Buzz and Miguel, who are played by the other two studio artists, and they're other members of the hive, and between the three of us, we kind of describe all the job options to her.
Take out the trash and all the mishmash, tidy this all around.
Sophia is a flower scout, which is a honeybee task that Bella will soon discover that that's what she also does.
Try, try, try. It worked!
That role in the hive, the bee, leaves the hive and finds the food and brings it back to the hive and tells them how far away it is.
Love to fly, soaring high in the sky, on me the hive depends.
Edward Graves, our tenor, he also plays a child who becomes very frightened when Bella is out flying around.
Get away from me, I don't want to get stung.
Remembering what it was like when I was younger and being frightened of bees and just trying to relive that moment and for it to come through so authentically, I think is my favorite moment.
I know what a sting feels like. Go away, go away.
And the lesson is that you should just not panic when you see a honeybee because they will not hurt you if you don't hurt them.
I think it's working. The bee is slowing down. I'll stay calm until she's gone.
And our baritone, Nate Hill, he is also double cast as the bird who wants to eat her.
Something crunchy, something sweet, something yellow with 6 feet.
I get to put on this bird costume with wings and chase my co-star Bella around the stage.
The main message of the story is Queen Camille telling the rest of the colony, all you have to do is try, try, try.
What do you want to be when you grow up? All you have to do is try, try, try.
And that's a line I took directly from the book because I thought that had a nice musical quality to it. But it's also such a nice, simple message that when you walk away from the opera, if that's all you remember, then I think that's, the mission accomplished of the whole work.
Try, try, try.
In all of our We Love to Learn books, we identify vocabulary words that we use in our workshops.
I worked in as many of those words as I could in an organic way.
Nurse bee, who cares for baby larvae? Make their bed and feed them, be bread topped with royal jelly.
As they're watching the opera, have that moment of reinforcement to, oh, that's that word that I learned about when I read the book, and now I'm hearing it in this context.
Once the libretto is finished, it's time to hear the opera's script performed.
We did a table read with Sharp Literacy, which was really cool. So we got to just read through the text, and they were there, and we got their feedback, and we got to see kind of how excited they were about the project developing.
That was a lot of fun. I was very nervous because I'd read the words out loud myself, but it was going to be my first time hearing them actually being performed.
Then comes the easy part for the composer, writing the musical score.
finding tunes that fit the natural rise and fall of the vocal lines, and then determining how I could portray each character musically as well.
Then, the Florentine Opera Company presented a workshop performance of A Busy Bee.
They, in this room, sat on 4 stools with music stands and just sang the whole thing front to end. This was the first time that anybody was hearing this music. This past fall, we gave to our current studio artists to start working on.
To come back this year and get handed the music and see the whole piece was really cool to see the finished product.
We started rehearsing it a little bit every day. We started staging it, and we're almost ready to go.
Oh, we are busy, busy, busy bees.
Everything is new for everybody here at Florentine for the Busy Bee because it's a new work. There's so many exciting and new things that keep coming to fruition as we continue to work on it.
What I think he's done really well with it, he's enjoyed the language. In other words, it's got a lot of flow to it that the singers can have fun with.
Keep them outside, access denied, stand strong until they're gone.
It doesn't dumb it down for children, but it sort of puts it on a level that I think they could easily comprehend, with the text being the emphasis.
So much pride, so much nectar.
It is opera in the sense that I wrote it for classically trained voices to sing.
The way that Ruben wrote the music, it's a little bit more technically difficult to sing than Broadway music would be.
I've tried my best and still haven't done as well as the rest.
Each person has what's called an aria, which is a solo piece that's sung by one person to express an emotion.
I just feel like crying.
Especially in this opera, you see a big difference between children's opera and traditional opera because we get to mix a little bit of other styles in. Especially my character, Queen Camille, she's a little flighty, a little, crazy. And so every once in a while, Ruben, the composer, has given me like a couple of jazz licks or things like that. So these kids get to not only hear our opera voices, but hear that, we sing other things too.
And when you return, and when you return, you will let us know where it is.
In the opening number, I wrote a rap in an attempt to sort of get the kids right away, interested in what we're doing.
Every busy bee that lives in Tennessee, and Tripoli, and Calgary, and Milwaukee, and Malawi, and Hawaii, came.
There's jazz, blues, which makes it more fun for us too. It's things we don't get to do every day.
I guarantee that nobody will disagree with this reality. This bee, that bee busy, got me all up in a tizzy.
And then there were parts of the book that I thought would be really fun to sort of explore in more detail, such as when they do the waggle dance and the round dance. I knew I wanted to write a big production number around that.
Queen Camille teaches Bella the 2 dances that the honeybees do. So they have one dance that they do if the food is nearby.
Round and round and round we go, hither and to and fro. Dance a cachucha, fandango, bolero, circling, orbiting, here we go.
And then they have a different dance they do if the food is far away.
First you waggle, 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 then you wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Next you zaggle, 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 and you ziggle, ziggle, ziggle. Waggle, waggle, wiggle, wiggle, zaggle, zaggle, ziggle, ziggle. That's how we do the waggle dance.
As I was writing the libretto, and even before that, the music for the waggle dance just sort of popped into my head, and it stayed with me all along. And I knew that that was going to be sort of the, maybe the hit song of the whole opera.
It's always a wonderful experience to get to work with a composer because you get to ask your questions instead of just sitting there thinking, I wonder why they did this. You can say, hey, why is this happening? In this show, I have a very fast costume change, and Ruben and I had to sit down and say, okay, you need to write some more music here because I'm never gonna make it.
I get a little nervous around Ruben. I'm like, oh, I don't want to mess up. You know, the composer's sitting right there. He knows the second I sing a wrong note, but you know, you just got to keep going when things like that happen.
Why should I even try?
The opera takes shape as the book's illustrations are transformed into the set and the singers into honeybees.
Aside from the music, I think the costume is probably the best part for me. Mel made an amazing costume, and so being able to perform that several times in the costume, I think it's going to be really fun.
I start with my rendering and get this approved by the director. So here's the finished one. It's just a vest with the bee butt attached. And then the wings get on top and they're snapped on so that they don't twist around on them while they're moving around and dancing. I took a scientific drawing from Google search so that I could get the actual veining and that kind of stuff, so that it actually is a bee wing versus something I've made up. And then they also get these antennae that are just on a headband. And then the queen gets a fancy one with a crown on it.
They are just probably the cutest costume I've ever put on. And I think they really help us tell the story very well.
Wiggle, wiggle, next you zaggle, 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 and you ziggle, ziggle, ziggle.
Before taking the opera on the road, the studio artists have one final dress rehearsal with an audience.
You never really know what you're going to get in live theater. This is the world premiere, so I think that is the most exciting thing.
We're going to see the opera. It's a place where people act out a story, a book, where people talk while they're singing.
Congratulations, Bella! You found your place in the hive.
The majority of our students that will be a part of this performance have never seen an opera. We want them to have the same opportunities that other kids have.
Kids don't realize the stereotype that adults have that opera is boring or stuffy. They get excited when we come, they see our set, our costumes, the music. They are generally very attentive and rapt for the half hour that we're there with them.
And you want to eat?
They give you a lot of energy, especially when they're responding favorably to it. So it's kind of rewarding in that way, that instant gratification.
You do the waggle dance? Yes.
It was waggle, then do it again. Very fun. Yeah, very fun.
Nothing makes you feel better as a performer than a room full of children laughing and clapping for you.
For the next couple of months, we're going to do close to 90 performances and see probably close to 15,000 kids.
It's really great to see that Sharp Literacy was so willing and excited to work with the Florentine and to help us, you know, take opera to the school while taking their literature to the school as well.
Children are going to get another possibility or another option, you know, to understand what this book and what the arts are about.
I think they really realized the impact that they will have not only on Sharp, our organization, but the students we serve.
And remember these three words, try, try, try.
A wonderful story and message for children and adults. 15,000 local students will experience A Busy Bee. Then the show will travel to Charlotte, North Carolina to be part of Opera Carolina's educational and youth opera programs for the next season. Discover more about A Busy Bee from the Florentine Opera Company and Sharp Literacy online at the website tinyurl.com/abusybeeopera. We love sharing stories about the arts community here in Wisconsin, and we'd love to hear from you. Please call us at 414-797-3760 with your feedback and story ideas. If you can't wait to see another episode of The Arts Page, you can stream our previous episodes and learn more about our show online when you visit the Milwaukee PBS website at milwaukeepbs.org and click on the Arts Page. You can find Milwaukee PBS on Facebook, too. I'm Sandy Maxx. Thank you for watching, and please join us next time for another half hour full of art on The Arts Page.